He is.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the first time today to Blades of the Dark Red Herrings. Um,
Yeah.
this is going to be a wonderful and excellent stream. Some would say the most wonderful and the most excellent, because this is the final episode of Blades in the Dark Red Herrings. As such, I will hand it very quickly over to the GM for this game. Jordan, please introduce the game and everyone's character.
Well, I hope you'll hand it over to me for at least the next 2 hours, Ben. But thank you again for the intro, and welcome again, everyone who is watching. We'll
Sassy
start this week
motherfucker.
with James. Please tell us who you are and who your character is within this wonderful game that we play on Monday nights.
I'm James. I play Giscard. He is our resident leech, saboteur, and tinkerer of the group. Also, you may notice I've had my ears lowered this week.
Very, very good. Okay. That came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Moving on very rapidly. Addison, please introduce yourself.
Hello, it's me. It's Addison, part of Many Things, and I'm playing your resident prince in hiding, Orlan Welker, Scotland, our cutter, our muscle, cavalry, our
Thank you.
cavalryman. I'm just amazing. What can I say? It's all got Pete Tom.
That is completely
Keep
true.
laughing
Solving problems with violence and coercion.
at me. Yeah.
I still don't get the ears lowered thing, and it's just now that's going to live in my
Moving on
mind
from
rent
it.
free.
He's had a haircut, you idiot. That's what it means.
Ben,
Yeah.
Ben, do me a favour. Stick your hat on and tell us who you are.
has he had a...
Yeah, dude.
Hello, everyone. I'm playing Aldrich Booker, the supposed leader of this band of scoundrels. I'm the spider. I'm a bit of the conspiracy guy, you know. Know a guy there, know a guy here. No, I don't know where I was going with this analogy, but he knows guys. You know, he knows a lot of guys.
He knows, guys, yeah.
Just knows
I think that's
people.
fair to say. Excellent, and that is everyone. So, without further ado, gents, let's dive back in to where we ended last week in the house in Charter Hall, where you had just made some startling revelations, and we had begun a sort of montage sequence, which we will now finish to wrap up the final score, or the score, I should say, from last week, which I believe involved Mercy, the resident sister of our Scotland friend, being sent off to an address shipped away by Giscard and some of his associates. And then we were going to just finish off with the party members. Currently, I believe Giscard was with Aldrich and Orlan was on his way out. So we'll narrate this slightly, gents. Obviously, then we'll move straight into downtime. But obviously, to tell me how it is that you vacate the premises.
All silent like a fish.
Yeah. So I guess so. As I assume, Orlan is leaving in a sort of breathing heavily sort of state to go off and have a bit of quiet time. Maybe try not to mug people on the way.
You look all posh. Mugging people would be a bad idea right now.
If you look all posh and I've got a really distinctive sword, I think people would know it was me. Yeah, so I do leave, basically take the long way back to the boat, taking along the now, twist till I reach the boat, the boat, and I look at it first while.
Is he jumping in and out for anyone else?
A bit.
Yeah, your audio's a little bit iffy, mate.
Let me turn the gain up on my microphone. My bad. Is that better? Am I better
Yeah,
now?
That'd be a bit better.
So
yeah, much better.
Orlan makes his way, basically the long way to the boat, and then for the first time ever, actually since getting on, almost doesn't go and leaves, but instead goes onto the is about to leave. The sword hits the lip of the boat where the red herrings are that have always been, and I kind of think about it, and I think of everybody else. You just kind of watch as Orlan goes in the boat, slams the door behind him, and you just hear like carnage. Like you hear things smash against the wall. You hear like the metal of weights like hitting something. You hear like something come off the roof as he takes like the big joint of meat that's like there and just pulls it off and throws it. Like the two blades of the sword pierce through the door. Basically, they're going to come back, and the boat is completely ruined.
Well, we'll get to that, won't we? Speaking of which, Giscard, you have returned to Aldrich's side, and after having told this diplomat woman of the attempted assassination on her and how her life has been saved, and obviously going to Aldrich's side, you notice as well this bundle of documents that the Bluecoats originally asked you to recover from this address. Do you take them?
Assuming the hostess is sort of in a flap and kind of not watching too closely, yes.
Oh yeah, so she's pretty like you've told her what's happened, you've kind of sent her off back downstairs to kind of like go and get help basically. But you said you'll deal with this situation for now. So I guess I'm
hoping some of the staff have come up to investigate the noise. And so there's other staff that have come up and whatnot. And I said, take her away, get her downstairs. Yeah. I'll deal with this. I need to take him downstairs. Go and get the Bluecoats. Leave him there, dead guy, and we'll take Aldrich downstairs and sort him out. So well, Aldrich and Cobb.
Yeah. So Aldrich, you are then escorted. I assume you're sort of telling him to take Aldrich downstairs.
I would take Aldrich downstairs.
Okay, yeah. So you're going to take Aldrich downstairs. Are you going to carry poor broken Cobb with you?
Yeah, it's going to be like in Batman Arkham City, where he's like holding the Joker like in his two arms. And,
yes, he is conscious at this point. He's just sort of like still with his eye sort of still closed from last time, wheezing quite heavily. I say wheezing because that is the noise he's making, but he sort of looks at you. And he just sort of relaxes a little bit when he sees you, but he doesn't speak. He just continues sort of concentrating on his breathing.
I'm still caked in blood, right?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay. Like, once I imagine we're going through the kitchens to get out because that's where the servants' exit will be.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to get some brief surgery if needed.
Yeah, if there's like a bottle of like a loose bottle of spirits or something, Aldrich will like pick it up and like pour it on his slashed open stomach and then take a big old glug of it.
Yeah, you can
try to wipe his face.
How bad does that wound look?
It'll need some tending to, but for now he can still function with it.
Okay, so he doesn't need holding down on a table and stitching up.
Oh no, nothing like he doesn't like it. Again, it'll require some healing, but it won't like if
doesn't need it now.
No. He doesn't need to be carried. He doesn't need to be assisted to leave, sort of thing.
Giscard, am I supposed to be able to see my intestines?
No, possibly not.
Oh, fair enough. So I guess at that point, you two you start to hear the hustle and bustle from the main party area where the Bluecoats are starting to arrive and they're starting to ask people, and some of them are moving upstairs. You can all hear this from the sort of back area. Like you hear some footsteps coming towards you. What do you do at that point?
Where are we exactly?
So you've moved through and you're sort of right before you're about to leave, basically.
I'll carry on if depending on who appears, depends on what I say.
Oh, it's just like say, you can like. I assume you were on your way out, but you can hear people kind of like moving. Like you can hear the activity of people arriving and sort of trying to understand what's happened. But you can
like Bluecoats arriving at the front, you mean?
No, not in front of you. They're arriving
at the front of the house.
Yeah, at the front of the house. So you can leave without being noticed if you want to leave now.
Yeah, we do.
Excellent. So you guys, you slink off, and you go. We'll say that you meet up with Rafe. Let's say the next day. And
before the next day, it's going to be I'll drop Aldrich off at the boat. I'll go and make sure our new guest is settled in for the night.
Cobb,
No, not Cobb. No.
Who are you talking about? Sorry, remind me.
Mercy.
Oh, sorry.
Mary?
Yeah.
Was Mary? Mercy. That's it. Where did I get Mary from? Mercy. Yeah, I'll go and make sure our new guest is settled in and make sure they're secure.
On the boat or in where you've sent them?
Where we've sent them.
Okay.
But having them on a boat might be a bad idea because we might have been tailed.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's fair. Yeah, you can go. So you can leave Aldrich and Cobb at the boat,
Yeah.
and you can go back off with the
I
documents.
will-
You see,
take measures to avoid being followed, doubling back, checking, waiting, being patient, etc., etc.
absolutely fine. And you can meet up with Rafe, and he's obviously he's fully aware of what's gone down and the situation that's happened. And when he sees you sort of approach him, give him a nod. He makes his excuses, links off, meets you in the cliche sort of alleyway, and he's like, I mean, I think I knew it wouldn't be easy, but boy, did you have to? Did you have to? Did you at least? Were you at least successful?
Yeah, we were successful.
Right. Well, may I?
Yeah, we'll get the documents to you in the morning. We've got them in a safe place for now until everything dies down.
Yes, good idea. I think it's best if we meet up after all of this immediate hubbub has died down. And he'll give you a location for a local cafe that you could probably meet up in, and just do a straight swap.
Yep.
Yes. For now though, as promised, and he'll hand you 3 coin, which I believe we divvied up last week. So we've already got that. That's already been established. But yes, keep that for now. We will arrange a safer time, and he'll go back to his duties at that point.
No problem.
So, are we skipping to the next day then? Are you?
I don't know how these guys would react if they came on the boat. See, I don't know if they're on the boat yet. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
How
you crashed the
would
boat,
be.
haven't you?
So do
Yeah.
you want to cut to that?
Oh yeah, no. So
do
while that
as
scene
an
is
aside?
unfolding, we'll cut to Aldrich discovering his poor beloved boat.
He's still pressing on his slashed stomach. He slumps down in the haunted chair, looks at the destruction. I guess a bunch of his bootleg booze is smashed on the floor.
Actually, I was gonna say the one detail you notice is that is pristine. Everything else is somewhat ruined, but for some reason there's not a single bottle out of place. like,
Okay, so instead of slumping in the chair, he walks past we've got the Rocky style meat hook boxing thing, right? He pushes that, and then it's only got enough tension left in it until the whole thing basically falls over at a push. Sighs, grabs a bottle of bootleg liquor, opens it with one arm, with his teeth, sits in the haunted chair, again pours some on his wound, and then just sits glugging it grumpily.
as you reach because they're on a shelf, aren't they?
Yeah.
The reason why they've not been touched is because you literally see Orlan still in his finery, but it's all torn up from where he's gone savage, and he's got his knees to his chest and doing 1,000-yard stare into just into the chaos.
Yeah.
He's just there underneath the shelf, almost like a kid cowering from something.
Okay, so retroactively then, I take 2 bottles off the shelf. I open one with my teeth, and then I hand the other one. I'll just put it next to Orlan because I imagine he's not going to be handed things right now. And I'll go sit in the haunted chair and just stare at him, drinking my horrific methylated spirits that we call alcohol, pouring some on the wound. And
Yeah.
just
First
staring
time
at
ever
him.
you watch him.
Yes.
You-
Chin chin.
You watch him actually grab the bottle and open it, just start drinking, all the while shaking. You notice as well, he's
Yeah.
there's most of it, a lot of it gets on the floor,
Nice. So again, we'll montage the next couple of days and say that that's when downtime occurs. So you hand off the documents to Rafe Giscard, and then we'll start with you.
Make a copy of them if needed, if they're going to be
Okay,
useful
yeah.
to us.
You can sort of spend the evening making a copy of the important,
Bit of a quick transcription of
and
the
then-
important bits.
and then hand them off to him. And then we'll start with you. What do you do for downtime? We have 2 downtime actions.
So I'm going to start with de-stressing because that's
De-stressing.
always good.
Yeah, I believe you're distressing at the Centrilla Club with your pleasure vice.
I believe we're throwing dice in the show chat, aren't we? There
Yeah,
we go.
throwing dice in the show chat.
Oh, let me change to the correct.
And you're going to have to remind me the number of dice I need to throw.
Just a single d6 for you for this particular feature.
Oops, and it's not roll. It's just an exclamation mark. Oh,
Ooh.
1.
One stress cleared. Again, this food is really disappointing you at this Centrilla Club. It's supposed to be classy, but apparently the chefs are off.
Yeah, they
You
should
gonna
see a
try it
doctor
again?
about that. Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah, figured. Oh dear.
Bloody
You
dice bot.
oh, I feel so bad for you. Like this, you don't roll to clear stress often, and
No. How many would that be off? Is that 2 or is that
3 total stress cleared.
3 total stress?
It's a
cleared?
it's a straight. It's the number you roll is what you clear. So,
Yeah, I might
would you like to
coin
pay
one.
any coin to
I
do
might
any more?
coin another one. Yeah.
Yeah, coin another one just to. I'm happy for you to do that, obviously. So you can, that's one thing I think you're allowed to do.
2.
Yeah.
Dice bot's not being good today.
Oh,
Cool. Well, at least I'm clear of stress.
Okay,
Fine.
that's good though. So that's what you do in these downtime days. Aldrich, what do you do after
I'm
having
gonna heal.
going to heal? I would think that would be a
Gonna
wise
do
thing to do.
heal. So what am I rolling for a heal?
So you roll. It's 1d6, and the number you roll basically indicates like how many ticks you fill on your progress clock.
So it's not my lowest attribute. It's just straight 1d6.
No. It's just you do it like a long-term project. So yeah, you roll 1d6,
Oh
and
my
then
god,
it's
bro, that's so lame.
oh dear, that's only one. Why are we all
That's
like?
only
Why are we
one
all?
segment.
According to this, yes.
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna have to do that again then.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Is there any assistance?
Oh,
any
fuck.
assistance I can render for healing?
Unfortunately not, no.
No, fair enough.
So-
Healing
one.
mechanically. Oh, you got a 1. That's another 1 segment, I'm afraid.
That's stupid. Right, I'm gonna spend a coin and then go again, I guess.
Alright.
I really
Apologies.
want to
This
spend
is
the
a
coin for
healing in
stress.
this game is not healing in this game is not easy, unfortunately.
4. Come on, that's got
Hey.
2.
Four. that's
2
better.
segments.
Sick, cool. So then that just gets downgraded to a level 1 harm,
Yeah.
doesn't it? So
Level
like
1
bandage,
harm.
bandage stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's that? Yeah. What level 1 harm?
I've got like
guard stomach or something.
Yeah, I've got like stitches in it, but the stitches
Yeah.
might open.
But yeah, so it's just slightly
Don't
reduced
sneeze.
your skill rolls, basically.
Cool.
Right. Olin. You are the only one left who has not acted in downtime. What would you like to do, sir?
So I don't know how this would work. De-stress, but my de-stress is obligation.
Yep.
Obviously, we have mercy. Can one of my de-stress things be like to check that she's secure?
Well, it's again, de-stressing is more. It's like you fulfilling your obligation, and your obligation, I believe, is to assisting your people. So it wouldn't really be a. It's like, it's less of a role play thing and more just a mechanical. So you go and you just sort of.
I'll go
roll-
give the sword back and shit like that. Then.
Yeah, no, just do like go and tell stories to the children and I guess stuff like. I'm just obviously I'm just reading stuff you've done in the past.
Yeah. So I'll do that for one action. So that's 1d6, right?
Yeah, this yes. So stress is your lowest attribute rating. Yeah, so it's 1 dice, I believe, for you.
Take that 6.
Oh, it rolls you a 6. Chuffing traitorous dice bot.
Orland's having the dice bot luck, I think, tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
That takes me to 1 stress.
I mean, what do you want to do else? You have one more thing you can do because everyone else spent this their downtime doing the same thing. You apparently have a different thing you can try if you wish.
Heat.
You want to reduce heat? Fair.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
want to reduce heat by. Again.
I
kind of
don't
wanna give-
I
what?
don't want to say that that's useless, but this is like the last episode of the season. So
It'll
Hey, this
carry
is
a
carry
fit,
over.
and you know it.
Okay, I don't want it to carry over, but if you want, I can train instead. I guess.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Obviously, you do what you wish.
I think I will then. I will do heat.
Okay.
Let's spend 2 coins to get 2 additional.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Let me just find the sheet. So roll your attribute that you wish to use to clear heat.
So I'm going to use. I don't know if it's... What is hunt just shooting, or is there other things?
So hunt is like tracking as well. So it's like following people unseen. It is setting up ambushes, and it's precision shooting at long range. Are basically
And
the three
would it
main.
include traps as well? Perhaps the setting off
Yeah.
So less about I guess so. Yeah, setting up
to a
trap
point.
things.
So I want to, because I know that people will be looking for mercy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to set traps in places and like basically make it so that they go to those places and set them up.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I haven't told any of you where Mercy has actually
Yeah,
gone.
you don't know. Like you haven't been told. All you were told by Giscard is he will deal with it.
Oh,
So again,
And
Oh,
I wouldn't tell you where Mercy's gone because I think it's better that way.
That's
Because
smart.
then you are not charging around like a bull doing stupid things.
okay
Which is
then.
a fair point.
Sorry.
I will just command then and command like I'll walk into like, the local newspaper outlet, get them to print about the fact that the to like take away from the attack, talk about the fact that someone claiming to be the Prince of Scotland is apparently in the city. Like I
Right.
won't tell
So
them.
you walk into.
Like
So what we see is this on the screen: is you going to the same newspaper outlet that you went to last time. You boot open the door, and the journalist inside goes, "Oh no, not again!" And then the camera cuts, and you roll your skill, roll it, and see how many heat you can reduce.
5s.
To 5. So that's reducing heat. That's 2 heat reduced. It's the
And
highest attribute rating. I will mark that off. Bad thing that could have done. I mean, you did have a few heat, so
And then
wasn't a wasted action. And then you've got 2 more. You said you wanted to do.
Yeah, I'll use my last 2 then because I don't need to do any more stress or anything. I'm going to use 1 for my long-term project and 1 to train prowess.
Yeah. So we'll train prowess 1. You get 2 in your attribute rating for prowess, and then you can roll for your long-term project.
So my long-term project, I'm going to continue turning the general populace against the military by, let's say, telling people, and I know this is probably going to be sway or something, so I know it's going to be at disadvantage, but basically telling people that Bigsby's wife is not who she says she is. She's apparently a Scotland spy, and I was going to try and start that rumor in order to
Okay.
get people
So,
to hate the military.
Yeah, so that would be probably consort if you're like trying to get people to get the word out there. And yeah, like you said, disadvantage unfortunately on the roll.
Come on, boys, don't do me like this, bro. Dicebot. Oh,
Good.
One
I'm glad that
is-
happened. You were having
Yeah,
too much
long-term
luck.
project.
Yeah.
1 is only 1 segment on your long-term project clock, unfortunately. But that is everyone's downtime, I believe. So, after that has happened, after we've all cooled down a bit, we've indulged in what vices we need, we've done what things we need to do to cool down, and we all meet back up in the lair. Cobb is still there on the bed, being cared for, just sort of slowly recovering. He's breathing more easily now. His sort of eyes swelling is starting to go down. He's
If this has been like more than like a day, I probably will have got like messaged his brother or sent a message to his brother.
Well, funny you should say that, because where we have this meeting, obviously everyone back in the lair, all of a sudden the door to the lair just bursts open, and it's Narcus. He's not waiting to be invited in.
Mate, there's a gun pointed at him because surprise.
Well, he doesn't give a fuck. He runs in, looks
Yeah,
around.
I see who it is,
on the
but
bed, and he runs to his side. He drops to his knees and he runs to his side, breathing heavily at this point. Fuck did this to him. He looks at you all.
Dead man.
Look at Aldrich.
He relaxes slightly when Aldrich says, "Good." Takes his hand, sort of grips it. Not again, Cobb. He's kind of sleeping at that point. He just sort of turns.
Do you know who Lord Bigsby is?
I know the name.
His wife commanded it.
Oh, the new little hissy. I've seen her about. Sort of likes to parade her around. As long as he's all right, and he's fucking dealt with.
Well, won't go amiss to throw away Molotov at his house, but by that, yeah, your boy's alive and the guy did it to him by stabbed to death.
Another
He
time,
did a
mate.
good job on that one.
I'm glad. You looked out for him. That means a lot. I'm not going to see for him, boys. I've got something I want to discuss with you. Something that's a bit of a pressing matter. Even more so for me now that this has happened. He gestures at Cobb.
What kind of pressing matter you got in mind?
An opportunity, boys. The ultimate opportunity.
Aldrich has been spending most of the last few days in the haunted chair. He pushes himself out of the haunted chair, scrolls over to the wooden chair that he was putting there, and then he gestures. If you're going to be a client, that's the chair.
Very well. And he goes and sits down in the chair, I guess.
I like the haunted chair.
Just bear with me 2 seconds, sorry guys. Talk amongst yourselves. I just want to double check something.
1,
Well, yeah, sure.
2.
He's a tuner or whatever Silas was. He can talk to ghosts. His name's fucking Narcos.
His name is Narcas.
Narcas. He's a devil person.
The actual chair isn't haunted, just some ghosts have sat in it. But
I know.
to me, that makes it a haunted chair, right?
Best chair ever.
Sorry, I was checking an old note.
Oh.
What's about
As
to come
I
and
said.
bite Aldrich in the bum?
So, Narcas sits down in this chair, gets comfortable, because it's a more luxurious chair than it was when this layer first opened. I've been working for someone for some time, boys. And he and I have been acquiring assets because he wants them and I don't ask any more than that. But there's only one more that he needs for this big payday that he's promised me. And especially with what's gone on with my brother. I want him out of this life. I don't want him to go through that again. I'm too deep in it already, but he's not. He can get out. And quite frankly, gents, it's a fine money-making opportunity. You're all about that, aren't you? He looks at Aldrich.
Coin is one of my many loves. What
And
have you got for
weaknesses.
us?
Well, remember that first job I gave you?
Yeah, that's
Stealing that charm.
charm.
Well, it's not dissimilar to that, if I'm honest. There are some nobles in town from... Don't know if you've heard of Severos. Severos is one of the lands sort of across the Void Sea, to the east, or to the west, I should say, sorry, of Akros. And it's a very sort of nomadic tribal people, but they do also have, much like Akros, they have more civilized and more advanced cities.
Okay.
So he says, right, there are some nobles in town from Sillon, which is one of the main cities in Severos. And they have quite a bit of money amongst them, but he's not interested in just their everyday belongings. He wants something specific off of this one particular bloke, who I happen to know is currently residing in a house in Silkshore. Now, this is where my problem lies. He leaves tomorrow. I know where he is, but if we're going to do it, we need to do it tonight. So I'm glad I'll happily come with you and show you where it is. But we need to go. What do you say?
At this point, I kind of lean like over in the wooden chair and look over at Orlan and say, "Smash and grab."
Sounds good to me, boss. Do as you please.
All right. You don't mind if this nobleman loses a few teeth? We've had a rough couple of days, and it'd be nice to get a win, as it were.
expend pent-up energy, I think you call it. Cleanse your chakra. Yes, this.
You really need to stop reading Silas's old books, mate.
Narcus
Agreed,
at that
he
point,
does.
from the chair, looks over at where Cobb is. Sort of clenches his fists. To be honest, boys, I could do with a bit of release myself. Smacks the arm of the chair, goes, shall we?
I
All
like to think
let's
that,
have a.
like, as he does that, we do it like a faint "ooh" from the haunted chair.
So,
I was thinking more he hits it, and then that he hits it on the edge of one of the legs from where Orland's hit it, just goes, and he's
Spread ass over it on the floor.
gentlemen, we can, again, in terms of gathering information, there isn't really much you can do. He's going to come with you. He's literally told you where it's going to be, and he's going to take you there. So,
Cool.
I'm going to ask him though.
yeah.
Who's he working with?
well, that's funny you should ask that. He's interested in meeting the lot of yous. So, you do this.
We need to know as much about this person as we can before we're going to meet a random stranger.
He's going to make you a hell of a lot of money, provided you get him this trinket.
Oh, that's fine. I'm sure we can manage that. But who is it before we
Giscard.
meet them?
I just want to have one job where we just forget. Let's just go beat up this rich person. It's so easy.
Oh,
Why do we have to
we will do
overcomplicate
that.
it? His
That's,
boss is
that we will
probably
do.
some hedonistic god. That's his whole shtick. We don't care.
It's always good to know who you're
all their
working
evil
for.
cosmic entities work on 100-year timescales. By that time, I'll be old or dead.
I'm
Never
impressed
say
that
never.
you think. I'm impressed that you think you are going to be alive past 50.
Aldrich looks
What do you
down
mean?
at his really badly stitched up stomach and just goes, I don't think I'm making it to 45. Come on, gents. Stands up.
So, again, we can jump into the engagement role now, but I'll let you do any additional contact stuff when I ask the questions. But how do you want to approach this situation? So basically, the location. I'll describe the location as Narcus tells you on the way. So it's like a sort of in Silkshore, which is the sort of artistic, quite an upmarket district of Duskfall, off on its own little island off to the west. This person has basically rented a sort of out of the way house on the western edge, kind of overlooking the shore. It's not a very populated area because he's obviously paid quite a lot of money for it to have a bit of privacy. But yeah, it's like a sort of single story, luxurious bungalow type place.
So it's an older person, and if it's a bungalow, because there's no stairs.
I'm thinking assault, point of entry, front door.
Fair enough.
I've got enough boom to make that happen.
Fair enough, boys.
I've got the skirmish and the wreck to. And if you're really worried about it, I can take a raid distance file. You can literally just let me Tasmania.
We'll do the whole tactical demolition of the door with big charge. Feed you a rage vial 2 seconds before it goes bang, and then throw you through the door and dive for cover.
This is the opposite to have the Goliath throw the halfling, but yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, last
The
time we
halfling pushed
tried
Goliath.
social deception, and I ended up with a massive stab wound, and it ended in a duel on a balcony. So this time, if we go for assault, it might end in a lovely little sit-down conversation, you know?
Yeah, probably.
It might well end in that. So, with that being said, so you've got assault, point of entry, front door.
Before we do this, did I get an answer as to who he's working for?
Again,
Regardless of what was said by everybody else.
he doesn't give you an answer. No, he will say, "Well, you'll meet him after we get this thing, and you'll make a hell of a lot of money. So if you don't ask questions and you're willing to just put up with it for just one day, you'll be rich. How's about that?" He says this en route to the location as well. All this conversation is happening on
Yeah,
route. So.
take it in the cart or whatever.
Can I have a quick flashback?
Yes, go ahead.
Just so I can get my weaving the web.
Okay.
I would like to have bribed a ferryman who is transporting some military goods for some blunderbusses. So that would help with our assault, essentially, is what I'm thinking.
Yep. So you've got a stash. I mean, you could set how far back are you talking? Are you talking about setting up a stash at some point in the city,
So
Years
they're,
later.
they're under the floorboards. This was like 2 months ago when we were planning on raiding. Like it's basically like a failed setup for a heist that we did. So it would have been like the Spirit Wardens. I was like, right, I've got it. We'll get muskets. We'll run through the front door, and then like it's like a series of Orland just showing us like all the points at which we would die, and then then I'm like, good job I haven't already. And then he looks at a floorboard, and then we see basically Aldrich go over and like lift up the floorboard to find the muskets. If this consort roll goes through.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll consort for me. Triple ones, triple ones, triple ones.
Oh, don't.
See that or they're duds or some shit.
Oh no, I don't want him to get have to drown someone else in the barrel.
4.
4, 3, and a 1. So what we'll say, obviously from the consort roll, success with a minor complication. So you say to Narcus, hang on, and then you point at the floorboard, you lift it up, and you count a total of 3 blunderbusses. There are 4 of you going technically, but one of them is obviously me, like playing an NPC.
Yeah.
So
I would like to.
Pistol. I'm fine.
Can I bring up? Can I have had 4 in there? I pick one of them up, and there's like a rat living in it, and the stock falls off because it was under the floorboard.
Right, so you want 2 working blunderbusses.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's 4 in there, and the reason we've only got 3 for the mission is I pick one of them up and it just breaks.
Okay.
Yeah, the butt's rotten through, dry rot. There's a rat living in the barrel because it's a big cone. We'll just throw that one in the river.
Imagine you like pick it up, and you know like the sort of low port where they put the shoulder stock against their hip. You do that, and then the barrel just falls off. And you're like, oh, not that one. And you throw it over your shoulder.
Johnny English, where he pulls the trigger and the top slider comes off, and then the magazine drops out.
Yeah, you dry fire it, and the barrel just pop and goes on the floor.
The rest
I
of
don't
these,
think it is meant to do that, boss.
the rest of
Marcus
these
is
are
a bit
tip-top.
unconvinced. He's like, what I'll say then is, before we do the engagement roll, obviously you can have weaving the web, but what's everyone's load for this?
Heavy.
Everyone going heavy? Well, I was going to say, for free, everyone can take a blunderbuss at no load, because you can essentially just be carrying them like already. Like you could set yourself up with your load and then also have this already.
I don't have
And
one,
that's
so
all
could
free.
I take a satchel charge of some description? You know, a bag full of bang for the front door.
Well, if you're taking heavy, it doesn't matter what you take anyway. You get 6 plus, you get everything.
You can take demolition tools and like.
Is it 6+?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but it's not like if you're carrying 10, you are going to be encumbered. But yeah, like.
Work that out when we get there. I can drop some stuff.
But no, like, it's probably not explosives, but definitely some heavy like.
No,
heavy
I want boom for the front door.
You'd
Just for the
probably have
front
to
door.
craft that if you wanted an actual like satchel charge. So
Say again?
you'd probably have to craft that. You wouldn't probably have that on hand.
I'm sure I can figure that out. Do you want tinker rolls?
You can think we can we can flashback it.
All right. Yeah.
Flashback to you tinkering and making a satchel charge.
Let me just make sure
Let's
I've
see
got
how
the
good
right
a quality it is.
tinkering my bobs. No, that is the wrong format
That is-
to have
that
rolled
is
that in
literally
because that's the other
every
dice spot on the other
fucking crap.
Discord I'm in. Let's try that again. A 2, a 6, and a 5.
It's a 6. Yeah. So you can have you can go to your little corner.
It's gonna be a big old satchel.
Aldrich is demonstrating these blunderbusses. You can go into your little corner and you can pick out. You can open up a little flap that you've built into the wall, grab an indistinct parcel out, and go. This is all I need.
It's going to be a big bang. It's not just going to be a remove the door. It's probably going to remove quite a large portion of the front wall as well, for poops and giggles.
We can just
Well,
do a horse and cart for that if you're
anyway. Let's stop planning and make
No,
the
that's the
engagement
back of the house.
Engagement roll.
Right.
Sick.
roll. One dice for sheer luck. Is it a particularly bold or daring plan? I'd say.
Yeah, front door.
At least you're doing
Big
home
boom.
invasion.
Unscoped out, unreconnoitered front door knocking. Could go well.
Overly complex or contingent on many factors? No,
No.
as far as I'm aware. It's not a complicated plan, guys.
Does the boom go boom?
Is it exposing your vulnerability or hitting their target when they're weakest? Yes, I'd say, because they are like in their out of town
Not
location.
expecting it.
Not expecting it. Strongest against this approach? It's a townhouse. No.
Yeah, but you never know.
Any friends or contacts providing aid or insight?
Literally,
Yeah,
Narco.
we've got what's his name with us, Narco.
Yeah, you've literally got Narcus taking you there, so that's 4 already. We haven't even done weaving the web yet, and there's no rivals interfering, so you've got 5, including weaving the web.
Roll it then, GM. I dare you.
5
Fine.
ones.
Yeah, you watch. You fucking bet it's gonna be 5 ones.
Come on.
All
don't
of the
glitch on me
blunderbusses have got rats in them.
now. Don't you dare glitch
Man,
on me now, dice.
rat bones could fucking still hurt.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
look at that. 2
That's a couple of
sixes.
sixes in there.
Gorgeous.
So we are in a very controlled position when we get. So Narcus, you travel across the city armed as you are, but using your underground maps that you've got access to kind of find the appropriate passageways through, so you can avoid the main streets and be undetected. You approach. You sort of waiting for night to fall. It doesn't really get light around here, but you sort of wait for the dusk, nighttime. Narcus takes you to the address in Silk Shore. Again, you're walking through Silk Shore, this very artistic looking kind of ornately decorated houses, not necessarily in their construction, but in their like literal decoration. And you're walking through, you sort of see the merchants closing up shop for the night. And then you move off to the edge of the houses through the residential areas, and where it gets a bit more like there are less and less houses the further you go in, and you
Bigger
can see
gardens, less houses, yeah.
bigger gardens, less houses, exactly. And eventually you get to a point where he stops you, and he holds down and he points and he goes, "That's the one." And after
Cool.
a couple more hours of waiting when it's dark, this is like you're in a control position. Obviously, this is just me montaging the route.
During that couple of hours, we'll go wander around the back as well. I'm assuming there's a back alley or a street on the other side where you can see over the back edge. And
We'll do that in flashbacks. Obviously,
cetera,
this is
et cetera.
montaging the entrance. But we'll after those couple of hours have passed, we'll say feel free to flashback, but we'll jump ahead till the actual entry, which
Well,
is you.
if we've got a couple of hours to kill, we might as well do it now. 'Cause
We
It's
flashback.
literally, it's
Yeah,
literally
just
just
say
walk
whatever you need
round
in the
speed.
flashback, James.
Yeah. Well, we're going to say if you want to do something, you can, but we can do it in the moment. This is the game, James. This is how we play. This is flashbacks.
You've only been playing for 10 weeks. Come on.
We've already rolled the engagement roll, so we should be further on by now. But anyway. So we go after this time has passed. You go to the front door. You place your charge on the front door. Do you tell everyone to stand back?
Knock, knock, Professor.
I'm gonna ring the doorbell and then light it and run like fuck.
Right. You ring the doorbell. You write
Gonna
it. you
kill
run
him
away,
if he comes.
And then so you
It's
assume
easy
you
to
don't
pick
run
it out of
too
like
far
Chucky's
away.
house, isn't it?
But no, yes, after an indeterminate amount of time, you all, because this is
Probably
you
a
two are
5 or 10 second
surprised
fuse.
by the size of this charge, quite frankly, because it's like maybe a bit much. But yeah, the door, where there was a door, there is now like a void. Shall we call it? It's bigger than a door was.
Raggedy
But yeah, no,
asshole.
this ear-splitting explosion just rips this gaping, like essentially the size of about 3 doors in this house, and you all at that point move up the stairs, charging in. Blunderbuss is at the ready, I'm assuming.
I mean, there's ground floor as well.
Yeah. So it's a ground floor. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's a one story. but
Hang
it's
on.
still
You said it were a bungalow, so you
Yeah,
got me
it's one
upstairs.
It's also very luxurious, so it's not tiny.
It's got like a veranda. I think he means like there's stairs up
Yeah.
like a thing.
Oh,
It's a-
like up to the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
it's a bungalow, but it's like not. Like I say, it's a single story property by that definition. But no, you run into the house. You notice as you walk in, there's this sort of splintered wood scattering everywhere and sawdust just settling in the air. There is an individual lying at the maybe somebody was coming to us answer the door. You're not quite sure, but that
I'm gonna
on.
check them out as we go past. I'm assuming that was some poor serving person that just got
Oh,
fucking
like,
nailed.
if going past, you realise that this is a man dressed for bed, and it's like, but you don't really get much more than that from him. Sort of the dark-skinned individual. Severos tend to have dark skin and dark-coloured hair.
Still alive?
No, definitely not still alive.
Oops.
But no, all of you enter the house, and you can again from the back room, you can hear a few muffled shouts like "fuck is going," and then from another door, you hear an opening, and 2 more fake figures appear just to see what's going on, and they look at you, and they both disappear back into the room, and then you can hear more shouts from a room at the back. This is sort of a bedroom.
I'll
right inside.
point
What do you
Orland
get?
in the direction of the side room and head to the back.
Cool. So, Orlan, you're going to the back, I assume.
No, I go to that side room.
Oh yeah,
Orland-
sorry. You go
Orland,
to the
like,
back. Yeah.
It's packing his blunderbuss, and he goes, "Ready or not, here I come." And I like kick down the door.
You can't hide.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I'm basically like just kick down the door. Is there anybody in there? Because they're there's a huge chance they're about to get it. Like,
Yeah. So there were two people that were in this room. This was a bedroom, obviously. Two single beds that you can see. One of them has run to sort of the corner and he's just cowering. Another has run to the bedside table and he's got his hand in the desk and he's faced away from you currently.
I would put that down, friend. I would not want to hurt you.
Again, you don't know if it's because like his ears are ringing from the explosion or he just is lost in the moment, but he doesn't seem to do anything about that. And you see,
I take a pistol out from my thing, cock it back, and I basically shoot in front of his face, so like he'll see the bullet pass him, go into the wall to basically get his attention, and then he'll see in one hand and like underneath the arm, I've got like the blunderbuss ready, and the other hand I've got the pistol. I'm like,
okay, so. Because that sounds like precision shooting, trying to aim for a specific point.
I fucking knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Can you please roll your skill in hunt? This is a control.
I've got two now.
This is
So
a
yeah,
control
boys.
position.
I think this is about to
This
become a
is
brain
great
surgery roll,
effect.
isn't it? This is about to become a brain surgery roll,
about to
not
fucking
a
dome this
precision
poor
shooting.
guy.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, 2 and 2.
So, you pull your pistol and you aim it. You're looking to try and aim at this, like in front of this man's head, but with the weight of the blunderbuss in your hand, sort of like weighing off your balance, and obviously shooting it with your offhand, I assume as well. Like probably not.
Yeah.
Whatever your like contingencies have happened here, your aim is just slightly off, and yeah, you'll know the term red mist. This van crumples, and the one that's sort of off, like he's over there, if you imagine, and then the other one that's like off to your like 4 o'clock just screams. Like, and I will cut away from that scene at that point, and we will go to where I assume where the rest of you are moving towards the back.
We'll head towards the back and the voices. I'm assuming it's a kitchen.
How nice is this house? Does it have electric lights?
Oh, it's got like the sort of quintessential like electroplasmic lights that you see around the rest of the city.
I'm going round and smashing every single one of them, and every time I do it with the gun butt, I just go, "Vive la Lamp Black Revolution!" Smash one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Narcissus is joining you in that affair. He's got just like a club that he's brought with him, and he's just doing exactly the same.
I was
This
gonna say,
guy,
he can just use the back end of his blunderbuss.
this guy, you're moving toward it. So the back's not a kitchen area. It's like if you like the door that you can hear the shouts coming through. If you open it, it's another bedroom.
I mean,
it's
I'm
like
not going to open it, not yet. I'm going to take a metal cylinder off a bandolier, pull a pin out of it, strike a match on the end of it, wait 2 seconds, throw it through the door, wait for the bang, and then go in.
Right.
Bang.
So you do that. No, I won't make you roll for that because that just sounds like you sound like you can take the time to like actually do it correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hear this ear-splitting ting like from this bedroom that you're familiar with, and do you open the door at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as it goes bang, door open. Let's see what's in there with the guns out.
Yeah. So you walk in. There are 3 people in this room. There are 2 further at the back, both holding pistols that are just like, oh, like they're not aiming them at you. They were obviously aiming at the door or whatever it was that clattered through. They were confused, and now they were looking at it obviously when it went off because they're just like they can't focus their eyes. They're rubbing their eyes, and they've got their hands over their ears. There's one more person in front who had the good sense to sort of shield his eyes, and he's holding a sword.
Armed?
And he's holding a sword, and he is going to charge at you.
Excellent. I shoot him.
Ooh, are you bringing your firearm to bear in close combat, would you say?
I mean, define
Yes.
how close we are.
I mean, he's about 5 feet from you, moving sort of like at this point in his movement, he's only about 5 feet from you.
Oh, it's the classic knife versus sword. If you're in a certain distance, does the knife?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I entered the room with my gun out. I'm not trying to draw on him, so
You had your
Wait,
blunderbuss, I assume, didn't you?
no.
He's not got one.
I'm using the 6
you're using
shooters.
a pistol, of
Narcos
course.
has the other blunderbuss.
Oh, okay, he's smashing up lights with it. So yeah, you've got a
Yeah.
pistol. You had
Yeah,
it
yeah.
already out, I assume.
I
Yep,
would enter the
so,
room with the gun out. Oh,
Yep. So if you're trying to bring this weapon to bear in close combat, that would be skirmish because that's literally how the book describes the skill.
that's fine.
Uh,
Hunt and skirmish are the
Control
same at the moment.
position, we'll say standard effect.
That doesn't give me any extra dice, right?
Risky position, standard effect.
Yes.
6. So yeah, as he moves, like he's doing it with no kind of training in terms of military. He's armed. Obviously, he's obviously a trained fighter, but in this situation, still probably a bit dazed from the flashbang. Is absolutely just not even making any effort to try and be like make himself a smaller target or to like cover himself in any way. He's just charging you, and you just take him full force in the chest with your pistol shot, and he carries on towards you, but
Just step aside as he drops dead.
and just falls face first next to you. You can and if you look up again, you can see that one of the two has heard this shot and has looked towards you and is beginning to sort of bring his pistol up, like to try and aim at you with it.
I mean, thankfully my gun goes bang more than once. Gonna take another shot.
We'll cut away from you at that point. We'll go back. Aldrich, are you doing anything else, or are you just continuing to smash lights and shout "Vive la Lampblax"?
I am like searching the rooms as I'm doing it, so I'm like smashing a light and then like opening all the drawers in that room.
Yep. So if you're going to open up all the drawers, you can find just say for purposes, you find sort of some fine sort of silverware, a few sort of fancy looking like crockery and cups. And yeah, these you look like these might be worth some money. There's a couple of discarded rings on the side that you can grab.
I've got a big bag that just says money on the side of it.
Wait, hang on, hold it up.
Yeah. So we'll cut away from you at that point. Orlan, we'll go back to you. Oh yeah, there it is. That's the money shot, literally.
Would you say? Would you say that me shooting the guy in the head was a particularly savage display of violence?
I would say so.
I would like
even though it was unintentional, I would say probably.
I would like to use savage then, and there's somebody else like screaming.
Yeah.
I basically want to basically shut up. Right. I want to bring my gun to bear on them, my blunderbuss on them, and I go, "Shut up! You know what I'm here for. Tell me where it is, and you will not meet the same fate as your friend, and become wallpaper paint. Do I make myself clear?" Like,
they stop screaming and they sort of focus on you at that point. Go ahead and make your roll.
That would be 3 because I get +1 from Savage.
Yes.
So 3d6.
Command, and this is risky position.
4.
Yep. So they look at you. They sort of focus in on you, shaking like, I don't know what. They're just sort of bubber. They're not really able to get proper words out, and they're like, what do you mean? What? I don't know what you're looking for. Like what?
The relic. Where is it? Where is the relic?
What the fucking Tierson has it. I just had to check my notes.
Which one is fucking Tierson? Hurry up!
With a shaking hand, they kind of like raise up. They're pointing now towards the sort of back of the house. Just fucking leave me alone.
Is that one a woman by any chance?
It's a fucking very, very scared person. Does it really matter?
Just saying, it might have been the husband of the person we were saying.
Admittedly, it would be in Orland's character one. So no,
there are a mix. There's again, like from what you've seen, there are males and females in the house.
So I'm going to start I'm going to look at the desk, see if there's anything nice on the desk, and then I'll pocket that, and then I'm going to make my way to the back of the house where this Tierson guy is, and you just hear me go, "Oh, Tierson! Where is Tierson? Where is Tierson?" Like, and I'm
Where are you?
I fucking love it. Yeah, so you leave this poor woman just sort of blubbering in the corner, and you can sort of glancing around this room, you can grab a kind of a fine-looking necklace off of the bedside table from before, and yeah, you just you go out. You're essentially playing Marco Polo with a blunderbuss.
Yeah.
So coming back to Giscard in the master bedroom, you've got somebody trying to level their pistol at you. From the back
if someone else is going to try and shoot at me, I'm going to shoot them first.
Right. So again, this isn't really a bringing to bear in combat. This is sort of, again, it's a more precise shot that you'd be making. So this would be hunt as opposed to
Yeah, I guess
skirmish.
it doesn't matter. I got one in skirmish
I know
and I
you've
got
got
one in
in,
hunt
but
at the
it's just
moment.
specifying for viewers, because I know we've come up against that in the past.
Devil's bargain.
Oh, go.
This will make it so that he can't reload his gun this heist. So this is his final shot. Like, it'll jam after this fire, because this is like the second time he's used this.
It's the second time
Yeah.
I've used it off 6, which is what we
That's
discussed.
the devil. No, that's the devil's
previously.
bargain that you could take. You could say that this shot will go off, but you won't be able to use this particular weapon again for the rest of this heist.
No, I think I'll take the stress.
Okay, 2 stress for 1 more d6 then. Fair.
Ugh, 2 and 3.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you try and aim at this person. Like you've kind of stepped aside from this fallen body, and you aim at this person, and you pull the trigger, and it kind of pings off to the side. It does. They kind of react to that though, and they flinch. They're not aiming at you currently, but you haven't
Good.
hit them. And there's another person in the corner, again, back turned away from you, frantically, like trying to grab something in that you can't see out of a bag at the bottom of the bed.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Aldrich, you moving through the house, or are you staying looting?
Yeah, if I can hear Orland like creepily chanting. what was he chanting?
Where is Tierson? Like,
Oh, Pearson, where are you?
Orland, like as he's walking past like a decanter set with a couple of glass decanters, will pick up 3, so he's got 1 for each finger, and he goes, what was the guy's name?
Tierson.
Tierson, come out to play.
Oh, you're doing the warrior thing.
Yes.
I love it so much. Do you know what? I love that so much. The person, if hearing that from the back bedroom, the person Giscard can see rifling through this bag just sort of stops and looks up and turns to where this voice is coming from outside. That's how that scene now plays out. We'll cut back to Giscard. That's what you can now see in the bedroom. What do you do?
Giscard can't be asked for shooting anybody, so Bandolier again. This time it's a frag grenade, and he's going to step out the room after he's thrown it.
Do you have
You
frag
can't
grenades
produce
in
a
your bandolier?
Again, frag grenades are consumable. They need to be crafted. Flashbangs I'm allowed, but frag grenades we'd have to craft.
Oh, now you tell me.
Also, we
Tell
don't
me
need
this
the
earlier.
guy. That's our guy. We don't want
We
Also,
need
I'll
him.
give you this for
We
free.
need that
You
one.
are trying to recover an item from presumably one of these 2 individuals, and you might maybe don't want to destroy it.
Yeah, the
That is a good
flashbang
point.
is reckless.
A flashbang
grenade.
is a person incapacitating thing. It's not
No,
a damaging
but
thing.
the frag grenade is what he means.
That's what I mean.
Eh.
The frag grenade is reckless. It might destroy the thing we're looking for.
All right, a test tube full of nitroglycerine then.
Oh Jesus! Oh God!
You don't have finesse, do you?
There'd be a new skylight, and it'd be red.
Is this what you're doing?
I'm gonna shoot the fucker with a gun again that's trying to shoot me. So.
Right. So he's frantically reloading at this point. He's sort of like
He didn't.
fumbling
he
with the
didn't
metal.
fire.
Oh, he didn't. No, I lie. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
can he
Oh,
fire?
yeah.
then?
So he's bringing again. Say again. Sorry.
Is he going to fire now?
He's going to look. Yeah, he's going to sort of recover from what he was doing and sort of bring it up to aim at you again.
Okay,
Oh, no.
I'll shoot him.
Cool.
Bah, fuck it, 2.
Oh no!
So you get shot
Unfortunately,
then, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
if I can die for cover, I will. But I'm
Yeah,
assuming I'm
you-
still
you-
standing in the doorway,
unfortunately,
just
you
fucking
chose-
shooting people in the room.
Yeah, you would have. You took your shot and you again went wide with it. Something about this particular weight of this pistol is not really working for you when it comes to precise shooting. And this man is able to bring his pistol to bear on you, and he does pull the trigger, and you
Okay.
feel this searing pain in your shoulder.
How does heavy armor work?
So you tick off a
Yeah,
so
Already
what
had it ticked off.
again?
I ticked it off before we
You
started this.
tick off armor first to reduce harm level by 1. You tick off heavy armor to reduce it a second time. So have armor 2, heavy armor. So armor is initially 2, and then heavy armor is 1 additional, so it's 3, and that reduces harm level. So this shot will have been level 2 harm, like obviously shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
But if you have heavy armor on, you instantly reduce that to
Done.
no harm. It just pings off.
Fucking Marty McFly style.
And again, it's like, And then he frantically starts to try and reload. And this person also that's sort of turned and looked to where this noise is coming from is like he's just stopped and shaking at this point, looking at you, Giscard, and I assume still hearing the noise coming from the...
We're literally coming out the darkness, like either side of this madman.
So are you guys all kind of coming into this room now? Because I'll bring you back.
I'll step into the room.
I mean, I'm standing in the doorway having a gunfight, so...
Right, so
Yeah,
you
you
can
missed
wait a
every shot
moment.
you fired. I'll just push you up.
So you walk into the room, Aldrich, and you see Giscard standing there with a pistol, his fancy new pistol that goes bang more than once. And this other man, there's two men at the other side of the room, one of them frantically reloading a flintlock, and the other one just staring at you white as a sheet.
Well,
Sort of kneel down.
if he looks at me, then I drop both the glasses out my fingers, reach into my gear and pull out like a butcher's cleaver, and then I go, "Hello, puppet."
Oh, it's all the horror movie cliches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever. But anyway,
Yeah. You got a little trinket for me?
again, he slinks, like he pushes himself back against the wall, and just again continues to just stare at you, like
No one else
So-
needs to die.
Oh,
still got again this man that's frantically reloading a pistol is
I-
now reloaded it and is bringing it to bear against the group of you. Does
So
anyone do anything?
Man, he's a
moved
fucking quick reload on a flintlock pistol.
I moved Giscard out of the way, and without even kind of not even looking at him, I just get the blunderbuss, throw it up, catch it by the barrel, and just fucking launch it at him like I'm throwing an app.
Shit, it's gonna go so badly wrong.
You haven't even fired that.
How
I
are you
know.
doing this?
When that
Describe
hits the fucking
how
wall,
you're
it's
doing
going
this.
off.
So basically, I'm like,
Oh fuck!
fucking move! You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and I just throw it up in the air, catch it by the muzzle, and then just over my head, and throw it.
As you hock that, can I hit the deck? That's fucking going off.
He pushes you down, is what he does.
No, I'll hit the deck voluntarily. I don't need any fucking assistance.
Right. So you throw this like Hitman briefcase style. Make a rec roll, because this sounds like Savage Force to me. Risky position, great effect.
Devil's bargain. It goes off when it hits the guy.
Yeah, Devil's bargain, it goes off.
Oh, you gotta take that. Come on.
You've already killed people, guys. You might as well go all out.
I don't want to kill. I would prefer. I think it would be funnier if it went off towards us, though.
Yeah, that's for, it went off. It's for the DM to decide where it fucking goes.
It
It
depends
goes
how well
off.
you roll.
I will roll to see who it hits.
Okay, so I'll take the devil's bargain for 3d6.
Yeah,
Oh, does that give me 4d6?
it's whatever your command is +1. Whatever your rec is +1.
4d6 then.
Right.
Nice.
Oh,
I'll take
mate.
that critical success, please, DM.
I'll tell you what happened. You push Giscard down. This is a crit. This is amazing. You grab this blunderbuss and you just hoik it, throwing it, and it goes. This is exactly what happens. It spins in the air. The muzzle impacts this man in the center of his nose, and it goes off downwards. And you just hear, yes, that is what happens. And you just hear a scream, a muffled scream from the facial trauma that this man has just taken.
You just
And he
retroactively ruined that whole man's whole life.
And he just crumples to the ground. And again, there's the only other person left at the minute is this now almost catatonic man sat in the corner just with his hands up.
Every moment of that man's life that led up to the point where you yeeted a blunderbuss at his face and then it destroyed his face. Right? Every
No, it
moment's led
didn't.
up to
It
that,
didn't.
right?
The butt hit him in the face. The gun went off downwards.
Ruined his whole
He
deal.
needs a new set. He needs
His
a new
whole
set of
deal.
Rocky Mountain oysters, mate.
Every step in his life that he's taken towards this point is retroactively ruined by the devastation that you've just committed on this poor, unassuming man.
Maybe a new
But-
set of legs.
But we're going to make some money out of it, so it doesn't really matter.
God.
I thought you wanted money, boss. Why are you upset?
Oh no, Aldrich isn't upset. Aldrich thinks it's fucking cool.
Oh, no.
He's still got the
So, yeah,
butchers.
pull it back in, guys. Pull it back in. We've got this poor, terrified man with his arms up, just pushed up against the corner of the bedroom, just like, what do you fucking want? Again, dark-skinned man. If dark-skinned people could go pale, this is what it would look like.
They can. If you've ever seen someone with darker skin in shock, they go
That's what I
grey,
mean.
just like white people do.
Right. You know what I mean. But anyway.
I'm still holding the cleaver. Go on, where's the trinket?
Again, he sort of looks down, like at nothing in particular, and then just sort of slowly starts to move his hand towards his neck.
I gesture at his friend and then go, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I've still got a blunderbuss.
You're gonna hand it to Olin.
Don't you want to see
Stop
the
there.
trinket?
Orlan, grab it off of him.
Yes,
I'll-
but Darbo.
In this position at this point.
While you're taking that off him, is the guy on the floor still alive?
Oh no!
Okay, good.
Oh no!
I grab this trinket off him and I start patting this guy down to see if I can find anything else as well. Like,
Yeah, so you can reach it. And you sort of on a. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Almost day.
on a leather band is this small, almost like a bone charm, but it's sort of decorated with this sort of runic symboling, and you
Silas
yank
would
it
have
from his neck.
fucking love this. I'm sad that he is not here. So I like
Yeah,
grab
you yank it from his neck, sort of snapping this band, gripping it in your hand, and you. Do you start patting down his pockets or the dead guys?
his pockets first.
Both?
His pockets. Yeah, he's got nothing on. He's in his nightwear, so he's got nothing in his pockets.
Ask him where he keeps the valuables in the house.
You heard my friend. We would like to acquire some fine jewelry. We heard that you have an amazing collection.
Maybe if they have any bank accounts and safety deposit boxes, we could get the keys and the numbers.
We're just staying here, mate. We're traveling. We don't live here.
Have we just raided their Airbnb?
I walk up to the guy at this point and like push him against a wall and then dig the cleaver in next to his head and I go, next time you light one of those fancy smancy electroplasmic lights, you fucking remember this, right? The lamp blacks don't like that kind of shit. You understand me? And I,
Are you intending to
wrench-
leave anybody alive after this?
I'm leaving him
I'm
alive.
I'm
we're
not.
leaving him alive to tell the story of the lamp blacks. Then I wrench the
Okay,
cleaver out
quick
and push him
flashback.
to the ground.
Quick flashback. Masks.
Sway. You've got sway, haven't you?
I've
Ulrich?
got sway.
Please roll sway for me. See how successfully you're able to.
I imagine
dissuade
at some
them.
point after this exchange, I'm hearing probably someone scuffling around, maybe trying to run away from another bedroom.
Oh, no, they're still there.
Okay, cool. Are they making any noise? 'Cause if
Anyone
they
want to give
are,
me a devil's bargain for this role?
I will say.
He recognises your voice.
No.
some
I will
reason.
say that you can have the devil's bargain for intimidating him with the lamp blacks, but he sees your face in all its detail.
Right.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? That sounds fun. 6.
Lovely.
Shit.
Oh yeah, he just sort of looks you in the eyes, and he just slowly nods, and then just starts whimpering, and that's the noise you can hear from the other room as well. It's just crying.
I'm gonna go and investigate the other room.
Cool. So
So-
yeah, you
Keep this scene. You see Giscard just and wander off.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just that woman. Do not worry about her. She's fine. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't reply, but I do keep going.
Yeah, so you go, you walk in there and then you see this, like, again, a man that's clearly been shot in the head, just up against the wall, like, on the floor. There's a woman. You also, amongst
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
crying-
like, don't go into this too much. This is a theatrical one. Keep going with the other stream, other line for a
Sorry.
moment.
What do you mean, sorry? Oh, what with? Are you
Keep
just doing,
going with Orlan and Aldrich for a minute.
You're just doing this for flavour, right? Well, I'll say if you're just doing this for flavour, then for all of you, you will start to hear crows.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Death Crows, Death Seeker Crows, whatever.
We got the trinket, right? So.
Yeah.
As you're
Narcus
sorting
will
out
come
this
over
guy,
and say, "Yeah, that's the one. We need to go."
there's
We've got enough now.
there's a muffled bang from another room.
What, are you just executing Pit? That's not us, man.
You hear the crow sounds intensify.
Giscard returns a few minutes later. After
Marcus-
checking the rest of the
Marcus is
establishment.
standing at the door like, come on, boys. That's the fucking thing we needed. We need to go now.
Aldrich
Messy
looks.
fucking job I've ever seen in my life.
Aldrich stops for a second and goes, "We're having a fucking conversation about that," and then follows Narcos out.
Right.
I look.
Do you
I
follow Aldrich and Narcus, the two of you?
I would check the rest of the establishment before we leave. Make sure there's no one else there and nothing else we don't need to acquire.
Again, with a quick sort of search, there's nothing else really of value there. You seem to have scooped up everything at least that could be easily sold and is of value. So.
And as we're at the back door leaving, 'cause I assume we're going to go out the back, not the front, because everybody will be investigating the loud, fucking big bang at the front door. I say to Aldrich, do we really want to leave him alive?
He's not posing any threat to us. Get out.
He tells story. He makes it. He tells story. He lets people know that you do not fuck with whoever we're supposed to be. And I flash back to at the beginning where I've just got a bag of soot, and I'm just putting it all over my face.
Have you still got that bag of soot or some of it left? If you have, I'm going to take it off you and daub in finger paint on the wall. Viva Lampblack Revolution.
Yeah, basically make it so that we look like we're chimney sweeps, basically.
Yeah. Also, another flashback, checking out the round the back in the 2 hours we had spare because I couldn't do it to begin with.
'Cause that's how we get
Yeah.
lunch.
So yeah, checking around the back, making sure we've got an escape route. There's nothing in the way, you know.
Yeah, no, you could have. You will have been able to sort of clear a path. There was maybe there was a fence around the back that you were able to just sort of disassemble silently, which you can do, I believe, with your tinkerer's tools.
Wreck, baby, wreck. I have saboteur. I think it's saboteur.
Yeah, so take one stress for me just for setting up the escape, but then you won't need to roll or anything. But yeah, then say again, Orlan.
Question: You said this is like an island, right? Like this little bit.
The whole of Several, not this particular house, but yeah.
Oh no, but the whatchamacallit,
the place we're in, whatever it was.
Silverbury, yeah, or whatever. It's
Yeah,
an island. So
Well,
have they got on their back, do they have a boat that they can
Oh
take?
yeah, sick.
Again, no, it's more like it's separated from the mainland of the city, but so is most districts. It's there's just a
It's
sort of
just like a waterway in between,
Is
like
there
marsh
a
kind of thing.
canal round the back?
not round the back of this property, no, unfortunately.
Oh man, I was hoping
Bugger.
I'll just hop the fence. It's fine.
steal it.
Yeah,
Steal
you guys can you can easily escape around the back with this sort of setup
Yeah.
from and getting out through. So you leave as a group with your newly acquired bone charm decorative piece of
Think of a
jewelry.
bob.
Narcus is saying that you have acquired, and then with all these crows, you see an unusually large number of crows seem to be flying over Silkshore as you sort of head towards, and you notice as you get to the waterway, there are some carts coming along the bridge towards the direction, following the same kind of line as the crows, and you
And
recognize
I'm sure they're getting quicker, gents.
And for that particular score, gents, we will end. We won't do downtime though, because Narcus, this is sort of part one of Narcus. He's like, we need to get this. Now we need to get this to my meeting. You wanted to meet him, right? He looks at Giscard.
We do indeed. It's always good to know who we're working for. Never
Well,
like
still
working
got it,
blind.
GM, have I still got it?
Got what? Oh yeah, yeah. You've still got the thing.
Can I get a good look at that before we hand it over to?
Orlan, that woman upstairs, unarmed?
The woman in the other room was unarmed, I do believe. Her husband was reaching for something in the drawer. Admittedly, the headshot was an accident, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, I guess.
That was unacceptable, Giscard. You know,
I'm sorry. What was unacceptable?
shooting her. We heard
She
the
had
crow.
a gun. She'd taken the gun that was in there and was trying to shoot me.
Can I bullshit detector him or something?
Again, unfortunately, not without
Does
an
he
ability.
not have to sway me, though, to tell you he's lying?
Are you lying, Giscard?
No, she picked up the gun. There's a flashback. Picked up the gun. I drew first.
Take of that what you will.
Did you pick up the gun, Jordan? You're the NPC character, right?
Oh, Narcos wasn't there.
No, but you're the you control all the NPCs, including the woman.
I'm thinking I might leave this vague, you know. But anyway,
Aldrich's pissed, but he's got no evidence. So I mean, he heard
moving
the
back to the
crow.
present, Narcos. Right, I know where we're meeting. You boys coming with me?
All right.
Sure. I need to nip back to the boat on the way around, but yeah.
Why?
And I lift up. I open my waistcoat. Yeah, big dent in this piece. Needs replacing.
You'll be fine. I want to get rid of this thing as quickly as possible. It's fucking hot right now. Because somebody killed a bunch of people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was the aim of this game, to relieve some stress.
Boys, are we doing this right now?
We're doing this right now. We're going to see your man.
I was literally gonna go like, and you, sir, like, you don't get to say in this. We are currently having a group discussion. You're not part of the group, but boss, what do you want to do? Like, and I look at Aldrich like,
I could really do with replacing this plate before we go and meet this person. We don't know who they are.
Don't get shot. Right. We need to get rid of this. And I point at the bone charm because there's 4, 5 corpses in there? I don't want to fuck with that. We need to get rid of this. We'll just go see the man.
Right. Come on, boys. I'll take you there. He takes you to, like, again, laying low for a couple of hours, sort of avoiding the hubbub, like staying away from Silk Shore as things start to die down. And as the day dawns the next day, again, you sort of sit around for a bit. You make sure that there's no one immediately following you. Yes, Giscard.
I reload the gun.
Reload the gun. So you all at that point head into Night Market, which is a district you are familiar with.
Oh, I like the night market.
You like the Night Market, don't you?
It's nice. It's all occulty and markety.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of spirity and all that.
Oh, I like it. It's quite
Bloody
nice.
hippie.
Yeah. So you head past the main sort of market towns where people are selling their supposedly haunted and otherwise trinkets and whatnot, past the station where the goods are brought in from the Deathlands, and out to a more industrialized area of Night Market where there seems to be more storage, a bit more secluded, maybe a bit quieter for a meeting. Narcos sort of stops every so often, sort of trying to remember directions. Looks one way and the other.
do you know where we're fucking going or not? Like,
Yes, I know where we're fucking going, boys.
Well, it's not encouraging you stopping every 2 minutes to fucking retrace your steps.
Narcos, you do like live in the night market. Like, this is where you're going. We know our way around Crow's.
Yeah, but you don't. There's a reason he picked this spot, boys, because not many people know this place, including myself, because we don't come here very often. So how's about you just give me a minute, and I'll remember.
I like pull out
Again, eventually, after a couple of minutes of sort of thinking and walking back and forth, he goes, right.
This is your turf. You should know it well, though. Regardless.
Well, regardless, here
Look,
we are.
right.
You eventually stop.
Let's not bully Narcos. He clearly worked very hard setting this up. It's not his fault. He's very incompetent at his job.
Hard setting it up. There was no setup involved. We blew the bloody doors off.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody
We all
door
know
off.
that Narcos is very embarrassed that he doesn't know the way around his own turf, right, boys? But I think we should. He's had a hard couple days. Cobb got beat up. He wasn't there to help Cobb. Actually, you've been doing a poor couple days, mate.
I walk past him, pat him on the shoulder, and say, "Don't worry. Unzip purse, remove coins. You'll be fine." I'll walk on.
Right. He eventually gets to this warehouse door, and he grabs a handle. He stops you all at that point. He's like, right, I'm asking you this now as a favour, boys. Please. Hear this man out and just do what he asks. This is for my brother. I need this more than you do. You want this for yourselves. I want this for my brother.
I'll tell him to hold on opening that door. We need to go and check around the back real quick, see if there's more
No,
than one
we
door in
fucking
this
don't.
place.
Just go in the front. Jesus. It's a meeting. Why do
No,
we have to go to
fine.
every meeting? Guns are blazing. Remember the last time we almost didn't make any fucking money? We stole some elephants, boys. It's fine.
I still say that was one of the best jobs we ever pulled.
All I see is
It was out
I'll
of
let
character.
I'll
Very
let you go through there first.
He pulls the door open and disappears inside.
Aldrich will just
Follow.
follow him in.
I
Right.
go after Aldrich because if he gets shot, at least I can fire.
I'll give it a good 5 seconds and then step in.
Right. You all step in to this open plan warehouse. Door closes behind you, sort of with a loud echo. Narcus is making his way towards the center, and eventually this electroplasmic light will come on in the center.
Is it is it a downward or a blasting at us?
Yeah, no, sort of just a downward. Like, it's bright, obviously, because it's such a dark warehouse, but it's a bright light, like illuminating this table and like the room around. Like, there's no one else in here apart from one figure.
As it lights up, I like whisper to Orlan, "Viva la Lampbat Revolution." Just continue on.
Nice.
Right. So yeah, you hear this light goes on. It illuminates this table that's directly underneath it and the room around. The only other figure that you can see is just off, like again where the light is illuminating. He's kind of just in the shadow. You can see he's there, but you can't quite see who it is. Narcus kind of approaches the table and sort of stands there, and he's like, looks up at the figure. He's like, right, I did what you asked. I've done everything you've asked these past few weeks. I got you what you needed. Now are we going to come to an agreement? And the figure starts to walk forward towards the table, his arms sort of behind his back, with a waistcoat, crimson-coloured waistcoat, sort of purple skin with a sort of weird scaly-like feature down the side of his face. And as he gets close to the light, you can see he's got yellow whites to his eyes.
Oh shit! Just the
He's got
fucking
loud
lizard people. They
footsteps.
run everything.
He's got loud footsteps that, like, from sort of, the types, the shoes that make loud noise on tour. He sort of walks up and he stands at the table. Are you all sort of walking towards this table?
Call out the table and the door and the light. I would sort of do this to about here.
Oh,
Stay
you're
in the
like
shadows.
halfway between. So you're in the light still, or are you
No,
still?
I'd stay out of the light. I'd stay in the shadows.
Okay.
I would be on Aldrich's like shoulder basically.
Aldrich like turns to Orlan at this point and like gives him a cheeky smile, straightens himself up, nods, and then walks over, gets out his big cleaver, digs it in the tail, and goes, "Well, you're a creepy fucker, aren't you?"
It's funny, none of you have picked up on it.
It's
because
our
this is the
patron,
description-
isn't it?
It's our
This is the description I've given before. Yes, this is.
I knew it
Yeah.
as soon as you said purple. I was like, that's
That's our
Silas's
patron.
uncle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you lot got it.
It's wonderful to see you boys again.
I've been
And
drinking.
he
my
said
own
with his
room.
arms sort of up, chest out, shoulders back, arms behind his back. You've done well, my child. He looks at Narcus. I told you they would be capable. Such a shame what happened to my nephew. But such are these ways, I believe. Where is the I assume he's with you. Yeah, it looks from side to side. Where is the other?
I give no indication that I've got it.
No, he was asking where's the other. He was asking about me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm stood in the shadows, quietly walked off to one side.
Well,
Probably killing
no.
some innocent people. Fuck knows. I've got full load, right? So I'm just going to fish out a bottle of bootleg liquor at this point and put it down on the table and just start unscrewing the cap.
ah,
Did
yes.
you bring the kitchen sink?
And Ramira sort of looks and says, "Ah, yes, a toast to a new endeavor." And he, at this point, asks for you to hand the charm over, or just with a gesture. But
So, my thought here, what was his name again?
Ramira.
Ramira. My thought here, Ramira. And Arlen takes a swig of his,
Aldrich.
oh,
Takes a
sorry. I said Arland. That's like not even in this show.
That was Forbidden Lands. That was
It
so
takes
long
a
ago.
swig of his takes a swig of his bootleg liquor, realizes how awful the bootleg liquor has been drinking this whole time, and goes, Ramirez, why not just come straight to us with this?
Well, because obviously, I've not been using you as my main contact for this. And he nods at Narcus. He and I have been having a little endeavor for a while now. We have been acquiring a number of assets, and you have just brought us the final piece. So, if we could get this started, then maybe I can show you how we're going to make a lot of money out of it. And he again gestures.
I don't move until Aldrich. Oh, I'm doing it now. Until Aldrich tells.
Gizgard! I shout into the room.
I'll move around. So there's the circle of light. Aldrich Orlan, Ramirez. I'll move around and come out here.
He turns. Also, his name's not Ramirez, it's Ramira.
Oh, Ramira.
Yeah, not
Sorry.
Ramirez.
I thought you were doing that on purpose, like the
No.
whole like.
No, I just couldn't. I just missed the spelling.
Ramira. But no,
Sorry, say again?
You are here. Well, seeing as we're all here, shall we get started, gents? He pulls from his own neck a charm. This.
I
something-
put my hand out.
You put your hand out. Okay.
We'll give you the charm as long as nothing bad happens to us and our fine city, because neither of us would want that.
Oh, absolutely not. He sticks his hand out to you.
Right, I shake his hand, so that's ghost contract. Just so you know. just in case he was going to fuck us.
And I'll ask him. I'll say, purely from an academic point of view, what do you need all these things for?
I don't care, he's going to fucking die if he fucks us. Give me the charm.
You don't care for sure.
But
I'm just curious.
Shakes your hand at that point and doesn't thinks nothing of it, and assumes ghost contract kind of manifests from what I understand as a small symbol.
Yeah, you and your partner, human or otherwise, both bear a mark of oath. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that my mark of oath is a little bowler hat tattoo with a dent in it.
So he thinks nothing of it. Shakes your hand. He shows you the charm that he's got around his neck again. This here is from my homeland. Gestures at his appearance. You obviously know the ways of my people. They are oppressed, more so than the likes of you. And he looks at Orlan. We have been oppressed for generations. Quite frankly, I am sick of it. But we are also very finely in tune with the spirit world, which is also something that these people will not understand. This and several others work together to do something rather spectacular. Care for a demonstration?
Do enlighten us before you do a practical demonstration. What do they do?
As I said, spooky ghost shit, as I believe is a term you are familiar with.
Aldrich, just-
While we are familiar with that, there's various types of various flavors of spooky ghost shit. Do enlighten us as to which one you plan to use.
Shit. Oh, Aldrich, your side of the contract must be to give the charm over, right?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's not going to hurt me or the city, so I'm just gesturing.
You're gonna hand over the charm at that point.
I give it to Aldrich, and then what he decides to do, knowing what he's done.
I throw. You don't actually. I don't think I've used this power, so you don't actually know what I've done. You just think I'm being super reckless.
So Ramira pulls a little band off and removes the charm, so his charm is now loose, and he takes this bone charm and he looks at them together and he goes, "You notice any of the similarities?" And now that you look at both of them as he holds them up, the runic symbols on both of these charms look decidedly similar to each other, and they almost seem to have a weird almost as if they fit together from their shape. He takes them and puts them on the table. Then he pulls out a small bag from inside of his coat and empties it onto the table. And 4 more charms fall out of it. picks up the first one. Akaros jewelry has always fascinated me. I believe the first job we did together, that house in Night Market, was an easy first target. And he puts it next to the other two.
Say
Again,
that to the builders.
This same runic again, looking at all three together, they all have the same runic symboling match. Another piece. Skovlan jewelry. Slightly more rustic. I'm not sure what it was doing in the Void Sea or in the Spirit Warden crematorium. But again, your work is appreciated. He puts it next to the others. Picks up the third. Eruvia. A fine land. Riches as galore. Their jewelry certainly is ornate. I'm wondering if that fella who decided to set up his exhibition within the university even knew what this was. But it was certainly far more valuable than anything else in that collection, in the right hands. Sit down. And he finally picks up the last piece. The Dagger Isles are a strange land. Their jewelry has always fascinated me, but for what reason I don't really understand. But nevertheless, somebody clearly had just as much of an interest, somehow found its way into the Lost District. Again, I appreciate you recovering it for me.
Have we recovered all of these?
Yes.
At this point, Aldrich goes, you do realise by, coming with a series of middlemen, you have wasted a lot of money on this that you could have just paid us.
And time and effort.
I don't care about your time and effort, frankly, sir, but Gisgard, thank you for helping our patron.
He takes the device. He takes the trinkets one by one and sort of stacks them on top of each other, and again you can see that they sort of shrink in size until they form like this large ring which sort of holds its shape as he holds it up. You're familiar with what my nephew could do with the spirit world. How he could sense it around him. How he could interact with it. Well, what if I told you? Yes.
Remind me who his nephew was.
Silas.
Thanks. There we go.
Does that just make no sense to you up to this point?
No, I was just having a penny drop moment. Carry on. I've been drinking my own homebrew. It tastes like petrol, but it's good.
Oh, clearly.
It needs a lot of sugar to actually make it palatable. It was brewed far too hot.
So, my nephew had the ability to interact with this realm. Spirits within it. To interact with them, and sometimes to even compel them to do his bidding. But what if I told you that abilities like that could be enhanced? A device, taken and formed from the runic and the ghost followings of all 6 of the main nations of this country, could be joined and allow an individual trained in the art of the ghost spirits and the ghost field to compel not just a single spirit, but multiple at the same time. To summon them and to bring their arms to bear. Imagine the power that an individual could possess. He starts to talk in this very sort of like monologue-y almost way, like he's with conviction.
I'm going to interrupt him.
Tip the balance of power to a political field. This could... Can you imagine? And also...
To what end do you want to interrupt the power balance?
My people have been oppressed for so long now. I am tired of it. They will know that Tikaros are not to be messed with once again. And he sort of stops.
Like in character, Aldrich puts his hand up.
Yes. He said, he's like, what is it?
You are aware that, I mean, don't let this shit on your parade, but if you're trying to prove that Tikaros isn't bad, maybe you shouldn't have hired 2 Akarosis and a Skovlander to do the job for you? Because really, to me, public image wise, that would screw your whole Tikkaros is great thing.
Well, in answer to that, and you know what? In answer to your previous question of why did I not just pay you to do it for me? I've wasted money not bringing you into the fold earlier, you said.
No, you've not wasted money. You could have just spent that money on us instead.
Well,
You have wasted time and effort.
well, you see, that time and effort, I believe it is wasted now, but what would I be doing if I simply told my test subjects everything from the start?
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
And
I'm pulling a
very,
gun on
very,
him.
he raises his other hand, and a palm pistol appears in it. And before you can react, he points it at Narcus, who is standing a mere 2 feet away.
That's no great loss. From behind.
And Narcus just turns towards Aldrich and Orlan, and then just collapses dead in front of you. Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Ramira. Just to clarify, where is he from?
Where was he from?
Yeah.
Well, he was from Akaros, just like yourself, was he not?
Was he from Duskville specifically?
I never asked.
He
Why would
was,
you
though,
say?
wasn't he?
He starts to breathe heavily at this point. He's like, starts to look at his hand.
That's technically hurting the city, and so I don't want to be that guy, but you have kind of crossed a small little bit of fine print in our bargain.
What the fuck is this?
Oh, Silas actually helped with that one. It's called a ghost contract. My father, rest his soul, but I guess not now. He's gonna come and probably kill you because you broke a contract with me.
Well, seems that the demonstration will come sooner than I thought. Level 3 harm cursed, I believe that is, isn't it?
That is level 3 harm cursed, which means
I mean,
he
it's
needs
mechanically it doesn't. I don't know really how it has an effect on him, but we'll just say that you can harm him more if you wish.
He takes
So what
level 3
happens
harm.
now? Narcus has collapsed dead in front of you.
Can I be stood there with a pistol pointing at the back of?
You wouldn't have been able to.
Ramira's
You wouldn't have
head?
been able to had it pointed at him for a while. You would have had to produce it at this moment.
That's what he said. He did say that he produced.
Right,
it.
Yeah, I said if he's going to shoot Narcos, he's going to get one in the back of the head.
How close are you?
Fairly close. 15 feet.
We'll say hunt.
Sold.
For this roll if you wish to reroll it.
Yeah, I'll take. I'll take the stress for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
5 and a 1.
And a 1. Right. So you draw after he's produced his palm pistol and shot Narcus in the face, and he has collapsed.
Conversation has
neck
gone down as it did.
You produce your pistol and you fire, and you don't quite kill him. You catch him in the high back, and he goes forward. Oh, then I guess we're doing this. And he holds up this charm, which starts to sort of glow. You guys have got ghost echoes as a side, as
We
a
do, yeah.
so you
We
sort
have
of
what now?
this faint, sort of
Like
eerie
a
glow
Gamma
coming from this charm, and all around you, you feel this movement, like these apparitions, not a presence you haven't really felt since Silas was last with you, but they feel angry. They feel a bit. This is a similar sort of scenario that you had when you were in, what was it called, the Lost District, and the kind of spirits that they had there that were just circling, and he's just holding this charm up, and he's like, right, I'm going to show you the power of something like this, and you're going to fucking hate it.
Let me
And
know when
all-
I can take another shot.
Yes. Orlan.
Yeah?
Sorry, Orlan.
Oh, yeah.
So as he does that, you just see kind of like Orlan walk towards him as he's got it up, and like I understand how you feel. At one point, you and I would have done the same thing. But unfortunately, you have trifled with the wrong man. And I grab where he's holding the thing by his wrist
Mm-hmm.
with one hand, and then with the other, I kind of like grab, because he's holding it up, you said, like that.
Yeah.
So I grab his wrist, and then using my other hand, I wrench to bend his arm 90 degrees the other way. And basically, like, but this is not to be trifled with.
Sorry,
allows
you
you to
didn't say that correctly.
I'm not. I'm a man who cannot be trifled with. Not to be trifled with, which allows me to do one of the following.
Yeah, perform a Who superhuman feat.
Yeah, perform a virgin superhuman engages in a small gang on equal footing.
Right.
And I push myself, so I take the 2 stress. So yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of like you close the distance with him and engage in combat with him.
Pretty much, yeah. And I keep holding.
So as he tries, he's going to try. You're going to catch his wrist, but he's going to pull it, and he's going to sort of swing the arm with the pistol around. This will be a skirmish because he's trying to resist you.
Can I lean over the table at that point to give my assistance try and slap the?
So you can like catch his hand as he tries to like swing the pistol round. Yeah, you can have an extra d6. Well, you can have a great effect rather than an extra d6.
Oh, I'm using foresight because I.
Yeah, you don't take stress, but instead of an additional dice, it's a greater effect in the roll. So yeah, you don't take any stress for that. But yeah, so you're now rolling your skirmish skill with great effect.
So, question, because I push myself and that gives me an extra dice.
Yep.
Do I do 5d6 as well as not to be trifled with? Because I get.
No, so you push yourself extra dice, and then you've also pushed. When you've pushed yourself, you can do the superhuman thing, and you get the extra d6.
Oh, okay, that's what I meant. Like, do I get the d6 as well as? Okay.
Yeah, it's both happen.
5d6 roll, please, DM. I'm gonna put it in now.
5d6 with great effect as well.
Fuck no.
I'll take the 6.
Oh yeah, that's a 6.
Nice.
So close to being perfect. But what you do, you grab his wrist as he's sort of focusing on these spirits that are hurled. Like he doesn't realize you can see them, and they're sort of whirling around. And he sort of you go towards him, grab his wrist. He tries to swing his arm round, but Aldrich catches it, and you bend his arm back the wrong way, and he gives out a shriek as this charm just goes clattering across the floor, and then he's there screaming hard, and from above you can still see these apparitions. Yeah, yes.
I was waiting for your explanation before I said what I was going to do.
Sorry, yeah. So you're still seeing these apparitions, like whirling around above, and then all of a sudden, one of them, like a single shape, I should say, because they're not manifested, comes down towards the group. Are you going to say, like, what is it you want to say? Like, you want to say it now, or are you waiting?
So if he's got his hand like that, I'm going to slide my arm down to sort of like my hand's like on the side of his face, like softly, and I go, Ramirez, I'm the captain now. Concealed pistol under his chin. I'd like to skirmish.
Under his chin.
Yes,
And while they're doing that, can I pick up the charm, please?
You can grab a charm.
Thing. Can I take a devil's bargain to be covered in blood?
Yeah, go on.
I feel as if that's not enough for this. You're about to kill the big boss.
All right, what are you going to give me? I'll take some ghost-related feedback.
I was going to say that.
I'll say devil's bargain. Sorry, Karen Anderson, you were going to say something.
I was going to say that because of your link to him with the contract, if you kill him, like your hand turns purple and goes scaly. Your hand looks like him.
I don't want that. I'll take some stress instead. That's great.
Stress for a skirmish.
Yeah, I'll take some stress for that. Skirmish.
Hopefully
you in skirmish. That's 3 altogether.
You got 3. Jesus.
Well, yeah, because I pushed myself, and I got 2 in skirmish already. A 6, please, DM.
Yes, 6. So you put your hand on his head, and you put your pistol under his chin.
I'm the captain now.
Just like upwards, I assume.
Yeah, and then just.
So his eyes glaze over, and this spirit, this one shape that was coming down towards him, just takes him off of his feet at that point, and just like like, rolls backwards, and he just clatters, like slides backwards along the ground, leaving a trail of blood.
So that scene from Ghost, the black ghost come.
No, so he slides back along the floor, and then this single apparition, obviously that's pushed him, stops and starts to hover over his body, and then just starts to manifest into the familiar shape that you recognize, Aldrich. Turns towards you. You recognize him.
All right, Dad. You could have been a bit quicker.
You don't know what you're messing with here. That thing looks at the charm that Giscard is holding. And he's
Giscard, do you know what that is? Can you do something with this? Like, fucking hit it or something? I don't know. Break it.
Giscard isn't there.
What? Giscard, where did Giscard? Where did Giscard go?
Shocker, the psychopath double-crossed us.
That charm is fucking dangerous, boys. You need to find it.
Yeah.
Can
I did not come here of my own free will.
But
That thing there brought me here.
ghost contract. You should have been here a lot quicker, Dad, if I'm honest.
Seriously, boys. That's not a fucking safe charm. You need to find that and see where it's got to.
How do you feel about hunting foxes, boss?
Oh, me? I'm a little bit ahead of you. And then a flashback.
Yeah, go ahead.
So on our way here, I need to do a consort roll.
Okay.
Because after the brutal massacre of that random person that Giscard killed, and because
That
the
wasn't
gang
a
is
massacre,
gaining...
it was a murder. There's a difference.
Of what? He killed a lot of people in there.
Nah, man.
After
they
the
come out with guns.
insubordination, the multiple acts of
I
insubordination,
defended myself. They'd picked up the gun off the
he
dead
killed
person
that
and
unarmed
shoot me.
woman. You know, after
killed
both
her.
of those
She
acts,
wasn't unarmed when I came back in the room.
Aldrich might have slipped
Prove
a
it.
little note. Because he's realised our hate's getting kind of high again, and the last time the only way it went down is when one of the gang members went down. He slipped a little note to our allies in the Bluecoats. On the way past, he basically like walked past a news stall that's like known to be an informant and just slid Giscard Revantoff and then a picture of him from like his university, like when they took like one of those what are those old timey photos called?
I know what you mean.
Lithograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
Along
that.
with a lithograph for his like university days, like on the paper stall as we were leaving, and that's why he was like, "We need to go now," because he was always going to set you up.
You fucker.
That sounds like a cool thing to me. Make your consort roll.
Consort.
Just remember what goes around comes around.
Can I have an extra dice so that they know that it was Arland Aldrich Booker? Aldrich Booker who set it
Oh,
up.
you use your proper name and you've spread it round. Yeah, go right ahead.
I'll also assist.
Oh.
I was gonna
I'll
assist
take
you,
the
but-
assist as well. I'll roll another dice for the assist.
Oh, no.
6!
Nice. That is
Fuck
so
the
lucky.
assist.
That was a clutch roll, my friend.
Oh.
I basically, when seeing that you're doing something, I will try and basically talk to Giscard about the fact that I need to go see my sister after this is all over. Like, I need to go see my sister. You don't understand. Like,
Is this a
basically-
flashback, yeah?
yeah, I'm helping.
So
in
we'll
the
say
back.
in the present, we'll say that as this happens, obviously, Aldrich, you say, I'm way ahead of you. And you hear a sort of like a noise from outside the warehouse, basically. And I guess you sort of turn and go like, that'll be the one. And heading outside, you see Giscard face down on the ground, having been grappled by several bluecoats, one of which has recovered this charm and sort of brought it away. You see Rafe standing in the foreground. It's the gentleman from before.
We know, Rafe.
Wow. Thank you for the tip-off, boys. It would appear that You've done me a service.
If he's got the charm, I just say, you're going to want that diffused. And I put my arm out.
He looks
You
at
can
it. He goes,
defuse it by taking it apart. You don't need to give it back to them.
I mean, you want to trust the man you're arresting for multiple murder?
He looks down. He looks down at this card and is like, and gives it to Aldrich.
Aldrich is going to split off the Skovlan and the Akarosi charms from it, and give him the other ones. Give the Skovlan
Make sure you
charm
get
to
all of it
Olin.
back.
Okay, so he gives all the other charms to Rafe, I assume.
Yeah. You want to send those to the Emperor.
Well, thank you very much. He's looking at them now. He's like, fine pieces.
I
Oh.
duck
Yep.
down, crouch down, squatting Slav style, like at
Gopnik.
at Giscard, and I'm like, you're going to tell me where my sister is, friend? I asked nicely, you did not tell me. Where is she? Where is Mercy?
I think it's relevant now, don't you?
Never
These
irrelevant.
gentlemen are going to find out shortly anyway.
You get a kick in the ribs from one of the blue coats.
He has
And
a woman.
I say no more.
He has a woman. She looks like me, and I point at myself, still probably covered in
You've
Gunk.
still got the sun on
Nasty.
from pretending to be a black lamp.
Shirt, beard.
so,
But,
scraggly red beard, but yeah.
You look like a chimney sweep.
well,
Out of character. Jesus, if he looks like you, fuck ugly, mate.
one of the
Go on.
grateful will say to you at that point, well, if she looks like you, we'll get it out of him, don't you worry. And he gestures at his men, pick up gift cards and cart him away.
They're gonna uncuff her, and she's gonna fucking murder them all. That's
And
the
we
problem.
the other
Nice.
thing that will happen as well is Aldrich, your father, will appear as manifest sort of next to you and look at the two charms, and he'll go, "Oh, very good, son. You've clearly these new friends you've been making, they're not so bad for you. But I warn you, something like that exists in this world. Someone's going to want it. Hold on to those. Keep your ear to the ground about the others."
Oh, you want me to hold on to both of these, and then I just throw the Skovlan one to Olin.
Fair enough. But still, only somebody of power can use them. Only someone who is attuned. But there may not be someone else like that in the world, but be wary. That's all I have.
Technically, would I not be attuned? Because I have Ghost Fighter.
That's more for if they're if ghosts are like manifesting on your, because ghosts can also choose to manifest in the physical world
Okay.
without people seeing them, whereas someone who wants to search for them and wants to feel the sort of field around them would have to. It's like essentially like a going the other way type thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
yeah,
want to
so-
touch them up, you need Ghost Fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you at this point the two of you retire and you head back to the boat where Cobb is now more recovered. He's walking around. He looks up at you. So did he how did it go? Did you get what you? He looks at the two of you like, where?
I sit down next. I imagine we've got them laid out on an old church pew that we'd salvage from the river.
I'd be uncomfortable as shit.
Sit down and go. We'll look after you, Cobb.
Do you explain to him, I guess, what's happened? Like,
Yeah.
well, he wanted me out. He wanted this life as well. I just thought I could help him. And I
You
think
were,
I can
man.
help you. I can help you, right?
Yes, Cobb.
And I'll tell you for why. I'll tell you how I'm going to help you. Pulls back his sleeve, and the little tattoo that he has of an eel, there's an additional outline to it now, which is a fish shape, and it's in red. I'm going to help you boys from now on. And that's the camera sort of pans away at that point. We'll skip on a couple of days to a meeting with General Bigsby, sitting in a sort of finely decorated room, holding a glass of fine ale, with a figure sat across from him.
Shit!
let me talk it out. Don't ruin this for me. And he'll say, well, it seems that you decided to take matters into your own hands. I told you to keep subtle, to keep your ear to the ground. I appreciated the information you gave me, but you did not need to do what you did, Giscard.
I was trying to be subtle.
The cover
But
we
this this item came so close to within our grasp. We could have used it for the program, you know.
That cover was perfect. Nobody suspected that we were inside the university. Why did you have to do that?
They still don't suspect we're inside the university.
Well, know that this cannot go unpunished. Your actions today have exposed us. We
To
now
who?
need to go to ground. We need to lie low. We need to be more subtle. We need to think of a new way to try and sway the support away from the movement and back towards our own people. I thought that was a cause you believed in, but clearly not.
Oh, I
It looks
believe
like
in it.
he's not making eye contact with you at this point. Remember that it is by my good graces that you are here today. You should be rotting in some cell in Iron Hook.
You have Mercy back. You can be thankful for that, at least.
Stupid girl thought she could do things herself as well. She will be punished accordingly.
You mother. I hate you so much right now.
Basically says, you will be punished accordingly, as will you. And he snaps his fingers, and a door opens, and some of his men, they come in, they pick you up by the arms as you are sat in the chair shackled, because that's where you've been brought from prison essentially, and they take you away, and the doors close on Giscard Reventlof. Undercover for the Imperial military to try and uproot and discover the supposed rumors of the royalty that was lurking around the city, the Scovlan royalty, which had supposedly died in the war.
Oh, fuck! I took you to my mother! Like,
Yeah, you did.
oh, no! Oh,
But as I
She
say,
very nearly got shot as well.
undone by his own action, now the doors close on Giscard, and the hammer starts to rise off the city of Duskfall as Bigby sits in his chair looking out over the city. And that's Blades in the Dark Red Herrings.
Oh,
Season
it's so good!
Oh, mother! You! Oh, I can't believe you gave her back! I can't believe you did this! I can't! I
Hey,
can't!
oh, your mum nearly got shot and all, so don't worry about it.
Oh my god! No!
So
I very nearly walked into that tent and just.
what that probably means, guys, is for season 2, I don't think Giscard will be able to return as a character.
No, possibly not.
Might be the case of a new character coming into the fold, but that is a story for another day. Thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with me and allowing me to do that. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I had to do that to you at the end.
Went slightly different to how I pictured it, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm glad it went down as well.
I didn't
Thank you,
realise
guys.
there were two of us traumatized by the war. Like, I went
Oh,
full on.
our original back and forward was Giscard could be a planted spy. The peanut shelling incident wasn't actually a thing. It was just a bomb in an old building, and he was a spy for Bigsby, trying to figure out where the Scotland royalty had gone to after the war. That was the original plan.
Did
So
you
let's
guys
give
ever
us, guys-
figure out what Aldrich's secret motive was?
No money.
Well, like, how much did you boys really know about Giscard's past? What, fired from the university because of an explosion?
That just sounds like all of James's characters, to be honest, though. So we just kind of went with it.
Maybe a little bit.
Admittedly, admittedly, there was one point where I can't remember when he said it, but he did say that there was no one harmed in the incident,
Mm.
and I was a bit like, and like out of character, Orland's like there like because he's dumb as a house brick really when it comes to anything that's not war. It was like, oh yeah, I guess that like bombs miss all the time and nobody gets hurt. Like, and then, but Addison was there like, how did no one get hurt? Like,
Did you
like
also? I want to ask this question because this is a fun detail. Did you also pick up on the fact that Giscard speaks fluent Scotlander?
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
Kind of everyone speaks fluent Scotlander, though. I think everyone at some point did some kind of Scotland gag.
It was an
Yeah,
elective.
the premise behind Giscard was that yes, he's an academic, but the university had a weapons program going on, and he was recruited out of the weapons program to be put behind the facade of the automatic peanut shelling incident, to be fired, to be hired by you lot.
Right, so after that fucking revelation, I think we all have to say a big thank you to our games master, Jordan, and to say thank you from all of us, we've got you a little something. So, do you want to post the link and I'll just show it on the stream?
Yeah, I'll
What's
send,
this?
let me just find it.
Aw.
So it's on the
Okay.
stream now for the people, but we're just going to post a link to Jordan so you can see.
Now
Yeah.
he's on the stream.
Well, the stream obviously has a delay on it.
Yeah, of course it does.
So I'm gonna send it to you in a DM, Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if you-
we've all pitched in and got commissioned a little lineup of all of our characters and you as the
The
games master as
usual
our butler.
suspect.
There you
There.
go.
So you've got that for the first game you've ever GM'd. You've got a little thing to remember it by. This was done by Victoria Blotter. I believe I'm saying that right. If you want to
Yeah.
commission her for art, the email is on the screen now.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to say I love that so much. Thank you so much for Victoria for making that, and thank you guys for putting that together. That really means a lot. This is my first campaign that I've ever GM'd, and my first actual time properly GMing anything, and I've had a lot of fun. And I know you, and I'm so happy that you guys have had a lot of fun too. So, again, this has been really good fun. Thank you so much.
It now makes even more sense that Orlan in that picture wants to kill Giscard by the
Hey, the art works.
Oh, yes, it does work well.
Dedication.
I put you in a butler suit, Jordan, because I felt like you were like catering to
Running
our
the
fucking
affair.
I love
Yeah.
it. I really do. I love that so much, guys, and thank you. Thank you again for the artist, Victoria.
Excellent. So it is the best time of the stream again because I get to take control as the host. So.
I
Should we
guess I'll go there.
I'm going to leave the art up for a little bit while we do our outro. So we will start with the guy on the far side of the screen. That is the man who plays the traitorous Giscard Reventloff. Big James, please do any and all plugs that you want.
I'll plug the loom. It's where I hide out and play games most of the time. It's nice and easy to find. So we're online.
Excellent. We will go to the next person that side, which is Orlan Welker, our Skovlander, absolute prince of a man. Addison from the Pod of Many Things, please do your shout-outs.
Yeah, so the loom as well, because obviously I run that with Ben and the guys here, and also as well, hopefully by Wednesday, if I can ever get videos to render in less than 24 hours or whatever, you will have a new episode of the Pod of Many Things called Dating/Marrying Your Dungeon Master, where I interview my wife about our relationship since Dungeons and Dragons has become a part of it. Her time as for a little bit as a D&D widow, and her time coming into the game as my wife, and what she thinks of it now and stuff like that. It's a really good episode. It might be a bit weird because we had to use the interview setting on my microphone, so hopefully it sounds all right. But
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And now, with a stunning new logo, our Games Master and Guide through the world of Duskfall. Please do any of your plugs, Jordan.
Thank you very much. And yes, I am Jordan. I'm Uninformed RPG on YouTube and on Twitter now at Uninformed RPG. back on the YouTube thing, doing some new videos. I've just released a new video called My Tips for Finding Your First Game. If you've gone beyond just a passive interest and you're actually looking for your first game, because I know what that experience is like. I am much newer at this than these guys, and I'd like to share my tips and advice. I've got a few videos up already for new players, to try to help new players in, obviously finding your first game. I've got a new video coming out on Wednesday, which is a little bit different, bit personal to me, about my sort of how this hobby has been affected by obviously the current world situation and lockdowns and having to do it online rather than face to face. But I like to think it's a bit of a positive message as well, trying to show people that the world's not all that bad and we can all find some positivity and stay connected where we are. And it's a nice message, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you. So that's what I've got coming up. And also check out some Blades in the Dark videos that I've got coming up in a few weeks as well.
Oh, very fancy. Finally, from me, as always, once we finish a season of the Flickering Torches RPG show, we really need a better fucking name than that.
We need a better name. We'll come up with a better name next time.
We will probably try and do that. We will be going on a 1-week hiatus, so next week there will be no live stream. There'll still be a video on the Flickering Torch on a Thursday, and you can now, I can officially say, you can now watch every single episode of Blades in the Dark Red Herrings over on the old YouTube channel. Not next week, the week after will be Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance, I believe is the name of
I
that.
believe you are correct.
Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance.
Guys, everybody do the Desperate Alliance thing.
We're just going to do this all stream.
ruined your game already.
So we will see you back here for then. Also, I'm on D&D Profits live stream tomorrow night if you want to hop in and watch me play a grumpy old dwarf barbarian, because...
It's not what you normally like, Grumpy.
Well, yeah, but I just don't have to pretend to be a character this time. Be grumpy in the live stream.
I mean, you probably have to nail down to get the height thing right, but yeah, sure.
I'll just raise the camera up, it'll be fun. You can catch me there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in for every episode of Blades in the Dark Red Herrings. It's really meant a lot to me and the cast. So for the final time in this season, say goodbye, everyone.
See you later,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Hope you have a lovely time.
I hope you have a great time. Goodbye. I've got to find the right scene. There we go. Bye.